Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video where we're going to be doing a little bit of a closer, deeper dive into the SSX303. The reason being for this is because yesterday I saw on the Novritsch Facebook story, if I remember correctly, and probably Instagram as well, they posted a couple of sneaky snippets of the SSX303 in its actual packaging, in its box that it's going to come in. And that's something which I'm kind of excited about. I haven't put in an order for it yet myself, just because I'm kind of like the person who, I want to buy it and I want it to come straight away. I can't wait. I find it hard to wait for things after I paid for them. So I was just like, I'm going to wait until it's available and then pick one up then. But I'm so curious about it because, you know, when you look at it, it's very much looking like a Mark 23 or the SSX23 inside a carbine kit. But is that the case? Is that how it is actually set up in there? Like, can you take the carbine kit off of it and then you've got an SSX23? I don't know. I'm really curious. I want to know if that is the case or not. So hopefully we'll be able to find out either from looking through the web pages, or when it officially releases, we'll be able to know, you know? A note on a different area is at the top of the web page, we can see they say our warehouse is moving to a bigger location. Orders placed will now be dispatched on Monday 11th. And that is very good news because essentially I think that that's going to mean that they're moving to a larger warehouse where they're able to store much larger quantities or bulk of stock, so that if they were to have like a Black Friday sale again, or if people, you know, rush to buy things again, they're going to be able to have more of the items in stock and it's going to take less time to get to you. Fingers crossed. I hope that's what that means. Dan, is that what that means? Hopefully he'll tell us in the comments. Anyway, back to the SSX303. Taking a look at the picture, you know, you've got that very iconic Mark 23 base. If you have a little look at the hop unit there, it looks like this is the top section of the slide. And then this is where like their TDC that they, I imagine, would have made would be going in there. So kind of like the Hadrian Designs one, although I imagine that they've probably manufactured their own to put in there instead. You can see from that picture, it is just like a single point adjustment. So with the Hadrian Designs, you can either get the 1 point adjustment, which is the one I use, or you can get the 3 screw version. So you can kind of assign your hop, and if you're going either to the left or to the right, you could adjust the hop to make it so your BB goes directly straight. With this one at the minute, it looks like it's only going to be that single point, which isn't a bad thing. I've always found my 1 point hop to be, you know, perfectly fine. And potentially, really, if people wanted to swap that out for a Hadrian Designs like 3.1, I expect that people may modify this to take this off, put the Hadrian Designs TDC on, if it is compatible, and then probably put some holes in the top rail here so they can put their Allen keys in to adjust it where necessary. But it's so much easier just having the rolly bit on there where you allowing you to just hop. It's so much easier than carrying tools around with you, isn't it? I do like the fact that you can customize it a lot. Like, that's really interesting. I think one of the other points which I'm curious on is how sights would deal with it. I imagine like on the offset, it just kind of looks like a rifle. So I think they're probably going to chrono it as normal. However, some sites I go to, they don't chrono pistols, or green gas pistols anyway. They'll chrono CO2, but they won't chrono green gas pistols. So potentially you could just be like, it's a pistol and a carbine kit. But because it's got the heavier barrel or the longer barrel, that's probably going to impact it as well. So they'll probably just treat it like a rifle though, I guess. Of course, it's called the SSX303 because it has a 303 milliliter barrel in there. And the cool thing about this one is that it has a maple leaf barrel. And I'm a very big fan of maple leaf barrels. I've got maple leaf barrel in my Mark 23. I've got it in my SRS. I've got one in my M4. I just really like the performance of the maple leaf Crazy Jet barrels. I like them. They're in my Glock as well. They just work and they're lovely. They're really good. I enjoy them. That gets a really big thumbs up from me. Yeah, there you go. Maple leaf inner barrel is 303 and it's stabilized within the CNC body of the rifle. So that's good. I don't like floating barrels in rifles at all. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like with the SRS, you don't need to have it floating in there, which is why I make a little adapter thing to make it so it sits flush with the outer barrel, and then it's just much more accurate. And yeah, it's beautiful. I love that thing. What are the other specs that it's got though? Sniper-like accuracy, designed to shoot heavy BBs, semi-auto like the Mark 23 is, very quiet, lightweight body, 1.6 kilograms. What's that? Half the weight of the SSG96 almost, if I remember. Let's just check that. The SSG96 is 3.2 kilos. So having a super light sniper rifle, or, you know, kind of semi-auto DMR, wouldn't be something I'd sniff at, really. I mean, that's nice. I've said before, I think the SSG96 is a little bit too heavy, so having something half the weight, nice. No hop-up tool, we already know that. 0.8 to 2.5 joule per hour output. That's also going to be affected by the gas that you're using. However, I think they do have different pressure valves available for this too, which is cool. I like that. I like the fact that you can actually tweak it. That's good. Works in low temps, compatible with SSX303 magazines, of course. It's an SSX303 in a body, so I believe anyway. If I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. M-lock with a 14mm thread, cool. Adjustable length 604 to 720, so that'll be the adjustable stock, changing the length of that. And it's a complete rifle out of the box, not a conversion kit. So that means you don't have to have an SSX23 to make it work. It's a full rifle as it comes, as it is. But I am so curious if I can just remove the SSX23. Of course, I expect that would be difficult to do because it's got the 303mm maple leaf barrel in there. So I'm really interested to actually get this and open it up to see what it looks like on the inside. Very, very curious. Then you've got gas recommendations, which is all kind of fine. Buying guides, quietness. To be fair, it is going to be super quiet. Like my Mark 23 is absolutely insane at how quiet it is. However, I have done a couple of mods, which I'm going to do in a future video, telling you how you can make yours just as quiet. And I don't know if you're going to be able to do the same thing with the SSX303, because a lot of the mods that I've done are to the hammer to make that quieter. And inside here, inside the rifle, you can see there's no like hammer like available, so you're just going to be, you know, shooting as you go. One thing which may be a bit of a concern for people, I know it's a concern for me, is with my Mark 23, every now and again a BB will like jam, it won't feed properly, and the only way for me to clear that is to like rack the slide a few times, take the mag out, rack the slide, and then eventually I can work the issue out. Now that's probably a me issue and a problem with my Mark 23, it's a TM, and I've loved it a lot, so to speak. But if that is an issue with other people with their Mark 23s, that every now and again you get a jamming BB, how would you fix it? Because if you get one jammed, the hammer isn't accessible in here, the slide isn't accessible in here. I don't know if the slide is even movable. I'd imagine not, because you've got the TDC screw there in the top. So yeah, that's something which I'm curious of, and I'd like to see firsthand how we're gonna deal with that. But to be fair, in the videos that you see, it shoots nice. It does the business. It's a very, it allows you to shoot quickly as a DMR. As fast as you can pretty much pull your finger, you can put BBs down range, and I like that. The only drawback from being able to do that is carrying mags around with you. Of course, with a spring sniper, you've got about 20 to 30 BBs, let's say, per mag. And you're cocking it every time and you're getting your shots down that way, and that's perfectly fine. With this, however, you've got what, 26, 28 round magazines? And they're filled with gas, and once the gas is gone, you can't shoot anymore. So if you are going to be using it consistently in the same way that Joseph is in these videos, you're probably going to end up going through a lot of magazines. So it may end up being a bit more on the expensive side to have enough magazines to run with, or we're going to have to start running with, like gas in a bag, like in a dump pouch or something, so we can, if we're in a hide position, we can then regas our mags and carry on. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how this works in the field, and I would love to try it both at a 350 FPS level and the 500 or the 450, sorry, the 450 FPS level, just because if it performs like a decent DMR sniper at the 350 FPS level, that would be great, because you could run a bolt as your primary and then swap to that and use this as your secondary, and that gives you a kind of like full functioning, setup where if somebody's close, boom, you can take them out with the SSX303. Running it as a primary sniper, I'm curious of. I think that it's going to, from the videos you can see that it's very deadly, but it's more the logistics side of things of, carrying the BBs with you, having enough mags, potentially regassing them through a long gameplay, and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely question marks. Nothing bad at all. Like, there's just question marks on how I feel like I'm curious of how it's going to run in the field. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Needless to say, though, I am very excited. I've been, waiting for this to actually release for quite a while. And then when I saw the old Novritsch story about the packaging, it looks sick, and I kind of got a little bit excited about the fact that it's going to be released soon, and we're going to be able to start seeing what people's opinions are, seeing what people think about it, and that's something which is going to be quite good, because hopefully, this is going to be something which is, revolutionary or changes the scene in some way, or it makes manufacturers think differently about the way that they're producing their riffs, because that's what progression's all about. That's what, taking steps into new areas is all about. And hopefully, potentially this could, I know it's not a conversion kit, I know it's like sold as a full rifle, but this may make other manufacturers see conversion kits as a legitimate area and make them more widely available. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who would really appreciate a decent supply of conversion kits for a different, plethora of riffs. So if this is the start of the industry moving in that direction, that is going to be really exciting. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's been a pleasure having you here today, and a huge thank you to all of my lovely patrons. I really, really appreciate you guys. And just a reminder for everyone out there, on the Airsoft Legend tier on Patreon, you will be entered into a prize draw where we have over £110 worth of prizes up for grabs, and it's only £12 to join that tier. So head over to the page, link is just below, and get signed up. I really appreciate all of your support. It means so much to me, like genuinely. And with that being said, thank you very much again for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.